Hello and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name is Ben Mosby. Thanks for being here. Show number 2 of 4 on Wednesday, the 25th of February. Can you believe it's March on Sunday? Seemed like January seems to take ages to go, didn't it? And February has gone by in like a little flash. But yes, we are here on a day where we are talking die cutting, amongst other things. The next 2 shows, if die cutting is the thing you love to do, these are the shows that you will want to watch. We're going to talk about the machines. We're going to talk about loads of different dies that we've got available for you as well. This is Beautiful Beginnings, of course, and this is that super interactive show where at the end of the show, we sit down and answer all of your questions. Now, on recent shows that we've done this, we have had a lovely selection of questions at the end, anywhere between 10 and about 18 questions, so let's keep that up to date, please, on this show. Get the questions in nice and super early, and then hopefully Rachel, who's on the socials for this, will compile a lovely list for us to answer at the end of the show. It is a die cutting show. The next show is all about die cutting as well, so, you know, die cutting questions. However, any crafty conundrums we will accept. Anything you want to know about glues, pens, papers, anything you want to know about crafty hacks, anything you want to know about plate combinations, the machines. I mean, you think of a question, ask it. We would love to answer it at the end of the show. I'll say a few hellos in just a second, but let's say the most important hello to the lady at the other side of the studio. It is the marvellous Sheila Showbiz. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, just getting geared up for some die cutting.
Yeah.
You know, a bit limbering up.
That's it. We were limbering up to a bit of, what was he called? Maynard what?
Maynard Ferguson.
Maynard Ferguson. You ever heard of him, the trumpeter? Very, very good. Sheila got her Bluetooth speaker out. We were bopping around to Bill Conti's Gonna Fly Now from the Rocky movie, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. Yeah. Watching Maynard screaming out those high notes. I'm sure some of our US viewers will know who Maynard is.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
It was unbelievable, like how high he could go on the old trumpet. Very, very impressive.
Did a couple of gigs with him at the Jazz Festival in Wigan. He was one of the, I think back in the 80s, he was one of the first kind of jazz artists to come over and, you know, grace us with his high note performances. So yeah, so we got the chance to accompany him as well. We played Gonna Fly Now with him, I think, and then we got the opportunity to go up on stage with his band and sit in with them and play some of their music. So, yeah, an all-round, again, another fabulous experience. That's
why we call her Sheila Showbiz, because she's done so many showbiz things in her life, see? Let's say a few quick hellos and then we'll get into it. We've got Radical Rachel on the socials. Jen Shank says hello and good morning, everyone. Generous Jen, how are you? Pauline Hassel in Cheshire. Hello. R Black Pearl 7 says good morning, everyone from a snowy New York. And hello, Terry H. Good morning, all crafty friends from a crazy weather, Iowa. Alison Mason is in. And Rhonda says good morning. Ben, Sheila, team, crew, and all my lovely crafty friends from Oak Park, Chicago. I've been told at the start of the show to talk to you briefly about each of the 4 machines that we've got here. Because, well, A, they're all in stock wherever you might be in the world, and also they are bonus pointed up today as well. Yeah. You choose a machine, go on, choose a machine, right, and I'll tell you how many bonus points. Go on, want to pick one. Which one? What, Junior? Junior, 200 bonus points. Go on, pick another one. What, Mini? Mini, 100 bonus points. Go on, ask me. G2, 300 bonus points today. And when you consider, look at the price come up here, right, you're going to get, right, well, that's 300 points already, isn't it? 300 nearly 319 points, plus your 300, that's 619 points, that is. If you're in the UK and you're picking one up today, that is 229 points, plus 300, that's 529 points. That's almost lifting you up a level within Club Inspire.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. It is a great day to do it. Look, do you want to do the junior maths? Let's do the junior maths. Look, 169 points. Add 200 onto that, 369, that is. If you want to do it in the US, 299, adding 200, that's nearly 500 points, that is. 499 points. Yeah, do it with the MIDI. Come on, let's do it. 149, add 100, 249 points. US only, that one. Want to see the Mini? 79 points, very nice. But I tell you what, grab this today, we'll make it 179, which is marvellous, marvellous, marvellous. Which one do you go for? That's the question. Well, let me give you a very quick rundown and we'll jump in with Sheila as well. G2, first of all, is available in both the UK and the US. This is the gold standard. This is the one that everybody wants to go for. This is the big daddy of the four, really, isn't it? That's going to allow you to do everything that you want to do and more. It's got the power. It has got the precision. It has got that speed of cut. It is super, super silent. It has got that optical sensor to allow you to run a whole host of different plates through. Maximum size 9x12. It's got the storage. It's got the capability to be able to charge 3 different things at the same time. And look, it's going to cut things like your fabric, your felt, your burlap, your denim, your glitter paper, your cardstock, your foam, your cork, your chipboard, your adhesive foam, mirror cardstock paper, you name it, you're going to cut it in this brilliant machine. It is the gold standard. You've got your media stand on there as well, all the storage in the top of the machine as well. I think, you know, let's be honest here, Sheila, if you've got the budget to go for a machine today, I mean, this has got to be the one, has it not?
Yes, it absolutely has. Just because of all the positives, and I think no matter what size dies you've got, this will accommodate all of those dies. So rather than you going, okay, well, I've just got little dies, so I use my mini. You know, the bonus is with a bigger machine is that you can do one big pass with everything on your plate as well. The fact that it's got all these other, you know, great positives about it with the USB ports, because I was listening to my speaker earlier and I was thinking, what if it runs out?
Yeah.
Because it's not been on for a bit. And then I was like, it's okay. You've not brought your plug, but you've got the Gemini, so it's fine. You can plug it in the back of there. So yeah, fabulous. What I think is great about it as well is the fact that, like, you've got these compartments. So, like all these little dies here that I've got on the sheet, if you lose the magnetic sheet or they're not on a magnetic sheet, you can just be storing all these in there so that then when you're ready to do your project, you go, right, I know that for this project now, everything I need, all my dies I've already put in there. So all I have to do now is get my card out, do a big pass through and it's done. So, and again, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to use. You don't need to be using the handles to crank. Not that there's anything wrong with cranking a machine. I love cranking my machines and I'll use the Mini all the time. But again, there's some times when I can't use anything else but the Gemini 2. And it's obviously on the market, I think, now of all the machines that there are, I've not known a machine that's got all these other little, like, expert areas, you know, like your media stand and your there's loads of features on it, loads of storage as well. USB ports, you know, glide feet. It's quiet, it's quick, it's very powerful. The plates are very, very strong now, 10 times stronger than they were. So, and it's still, even though it's big, it's compact because it closes up nice and neat. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to have it.
No, I mean, you know, let's talk realistically. Considered purchase, yes, something though, if you buy it, it's going to be with you, you know, through all your crafting journeys. If budget allows today, this is the one. Absolutely, this is the one to go for. Vicky Small, I've seen your question as well. And if you can wait another, we're going to head over to Essentials Corner in about half an hour. So if you can wait till then, we'll talk about plates and what they do. We'll take the plates over and sit down and go through it. So that we'll do that for you then and talk about each one and what they all do. Because I know you asked about that and specifically the pink rubber sheet. What does that do? We'll tell you in just a little while. Just to say as well, with all the machines, and I think this is a really valid point to point out, you get all of the plates included, right? So with the Gemini 2, it's not a case of getting this home, then opening the box and going, oh, they haven't put the plates in there and I've got to spend more money getting the plates. They're all included in the box for you. So you get this home, you plug it in, you're ready to play, you're ready to go. Down the line, you will need to buy more plates. It's the nature of the beast, of course, but we're talking a long way down the line and you'll be able to do that. But you get this home, you've got this, you get it out, you're ready to play. You've got this show with a brief overview. We did a 101 5 days ago. There must be hundreds of hours worth of shows on all our machines on YouTube, right? So if you want more detail, that is where you go. Pick a crafter, pick an expert. They'll have all done a show on the Gemini machines. Choose your favourite and they will all tell you about why you should grab this machine. 300 bonus points today. This will be in stock tomorrow. Okay, you'll be able to grab it tomorrow. We'll still be singing its praises tomorrow. The difference tomorrow is you won't get 300 beautiful little bonus points on it. No. So if you like the idea of getting 300 bonus points today, buying this in the UK and picking up 529 points or 619 points in the US, then buy it today without delay. Now, the Junior. The only difference about the Junior here that you will see when you get yours home, you will get the updated one. Our Junior is the old colour. Your Junior will be the same colour as the beautiful little Mini and the MIDI and the G2. This is obviously a smaller electronic machine. It's going to take you 9x6 plates. But what I would say about this is, and we'll get Sheila's take in a second, if you are on a bit more of a budget, for example, or maybe you are a manual user who wants to first step into the world of electronic die cutting and embossing, then this is potentially the one for you. The price tag, of course, is smaller. But you still get the power, you still get the precision, you still get the quick cut. You do also, by the way, still get the opportunity in your Junior to be able to use your foil press and, of course, your letterpress as well. It's $169.99 today, $299.99, and you've got 200 bonus points on top of this as well. I think that's true as you say, isn't it, Sheila? So as a first electronic machine, brilliant. As an upgrade from a manual, brilliant. But also if you've got a smaller budget, it's a good one to go for, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And it will take your embossing folders as well. I mean, the majority of us have embossing folders up to kind of 5x7s, 6x6, so you can use all those in it as well, not necessarily just for the die cutting. But yeah, it's a great machine. We were talking about it the other day on our show, myself and Ben, about 5 days ago when we did the show. We had the Gemini 2 and the Junior next to each other, and what we were doing was we were putting the same dies with the same cardstock through at the same time to see which was quicker, which would take what die, which would, just how they compared to each other. And really, there's not a lot of difference. It's just size, and the Junior is probably a little bit slower.
Yeah.
That's only because the Gemini 2 is a newer machine. But this is definitely a great introduction, the Junior, to electronic machines, because I think with it is quite compact, and I think it's a good one to go into because you've not got all the extra bits on it, extra features that can sometimes get you a little bit confused or a bit overwhelmed. Yeah. So you're going from something that's like being, on your table all the time, where you just cranking, putting it through and pulling it back, to go into an electronic one is quite a, it's quite a jump, and it can be scary. As we know with anything that plugs in, you always go, shall I plug it in? Oh, will it be all right if I plug it in? It's the fact that you've got electric going through it, and it's a whole new world. But honestly, once you start to use it, it's great. It's really simple to use. You've got your on-off button, you've got your stop and your pause, and then rewind if you like. And as with all the machines, if it won't go through, it just brings it back out. So it's not gonna, it's not gonna take it off you and squash it through the machine. Yeah. And then damage what you've put in there. It's gonna stop and it's gonna bring it back out. And it's great for space as well, because it's just that's what it is. It's that. The only time it gets bigger is when you put your plates through and the plates coming out the back. But it's a really nice compact machine, I think. It's very powerful as well. Yeah. And we love the shape, don't we? We love the sleekness of it and just the roundness of it.
It's a great little machine. I think it depends where your budget lies, really, but certainly worth its place in the Gemini family. 200 bonus points today. Like we said, if you want this today, you can get it today with 200 bonus points. You can get it tomorrow, but you just won't get the additional points. Next! Simplicity without electricity. This is my favourite machine. Just to say, you won't get yours saying Ben Mosby's Gemini MIDI Simplicity without electricity. This is a one-off. This was the first Raspberry MIDI of its kind. I still remember the show when I was over here chatting, and I'd said for ages to Leanne, oh, can we get my catchphrase on the machine? She was like, oh, okay. And then she came in on a show and she presented me with this. It's one of a kind. Maybe later on in life, when I've accomplished everything I want, I'll stick that on an auction site and make my millions.
Yeah.
You know?
Why not?
You know,
Why not?
yeah, do a little squiggle on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Add a few of your cards in there that you've made on it. And,
Yeah.
You know, get a few of your projects in there with envelopes and stuff.
Be a couple of million that. Be at Sotheby's this. It will be. Anyway, back in the real world, you get 100 bonus points with your machine. And this is a brilliant option. I think particularly if you are new to die cutting, and again, you want an option which is, again, slightly more affordable, certainly more portable. The MIDI, of course, is the bigger of the two manual machines. You've got the suckers on the bottom there, so wherever you put it, it's going to stay in place. And whether you're left-handed or right-handed, you can just switch the machine around and use it to whatever your handedness might be. What I will say is it's quick, it is easy, it is simplicity with electricity. You have a folder for your die cuts. If you've got a 2D embossing folder, you run it through with the shim that you get. If you've got a 3D embossing folder, you just simply put it through. It's so simple to use. And I think the portability aspect of this is great, Sheila, but also I know a lot of people like to have manual with an electronic, because not always do you need to use an electronic if you just need a quick cut or a quick emboss, do you?
No, not at all. I mean, I've cut a room full of machines because as a crafter, that's what you do. You collect them, and as you go through life, you use them all for different purposes and different dyes. You know that some are a bit more comfortable using this dye, or that some use a thicker dye. Some, you know, so you do that as a crafter, and that's exactly what I've done over time. And I've been lucky enough to be given lots of machines in my jobs throughout the year, so I've got a whole stack of them. And as soon as I joined Crafters Companion, I was like, well, I've not got any of your machines, and they're like, okay, well, we'll get you a Gemini as soon as we can. So within a couple of weeks, I had the Gemini and the Gemini 2, and obviously I just use that all the time now. And then I got the Mini as well. So these are my machines that are currently out. This is next to my desk. This is, I bring this with me. This is not mine, this belongs here. But I bring mine with me all the time. It's always in my trolley, just in case, because sometimes myself and Ben will be doing things together. We both need a Mini, but yeah, there's absolutely a place for all these. And as I'm like looking at dies here now, I'm thinking, right, well, this is great. I can use the Mini for these. And then when Ben was talking about the MIDI, I always think, yeah, the MIDI is great because it's bigger, and it will still allow you to do the die cutting in exactly the same way as you do on the Mini, because it's just easy. There's no buttons, there's no electric, it's just white. It's just like a wind up almost. So you'll just take what you need, put it through in the folder and put it through. And the great thing, which again with the MIDI, you've got the 3D embossing folders. You don't even have to think about plates. You just get your folder, you put your card in, you go through, and it's done. So it's really, really simple. It couldn't be simpler. And then as you progress and you get bigger dies and you get more confident, you think, right, I'm selling cards and stuff now, everything that I make, then you can go up onto the Junior. And then eventually, like a lot of you have, you end up with all of them in all the colours.
Yeah. And I think, from my point of view, as I say, I craft a bit now, don't I? I started off with the MIDI. If you remember back along, I borrowed a MIDI, didn't I, from Craig all of those years ago, which he never got back. I still got it, but I've also got mine now as well. But the reason I did it is because I just found it easier, because I didn't have to remember the plate combinations. But then, of course, hanging out with the guys, now I kind of understand the Junior, I understand the 2, and when we craft together, and Sheila and I craft together, I'll use the 2 quite happily as I'll use the MIDI. So again, it's a great place to start, and then as Sheila says, move up to these machines potentially. 100 bonus points today, won't have 100 bonus points tomorrow. Kelly O'Sullivan says, afternoon, still can't make my mind up which one to ask for. Well, listen, if you're getting it as a gift, and whoever's getting the gift, tell them today, 300 bonus points. Won't have the 300 bonus points tomorrow, so you could. When's your birthday? Because they could get it now, couldn't they? And then hide it away. Yeah. So if you tell them, then they get the 300 bonus points, and then you'll get the machine and you'll get 300 bonus points onto your account as well, which is a nice little Brucey bonus. Terry H says, anyone trying to decide on a machine, I have all of them, and the G2 is my machine of choice. I use it the most. Second, I keep out is the Mini. They both sit out all of the time. The Mini is this little bad boy here. Mini, as Leanne would say, but mighty. It is the smaller of our 2 machines. $79.99 US only on this one. And exactly what we said about the MIDI applies to the Mini, but in smaller fashion. It is quick, it is portable, it is precise, it is powerful as well. This is the thing to say. Remember when we first launched this, and a lot of people were like, oh, it's like a little toy, isn't it? It's like a little, you know, a little plaything. It's not at all. This is something which is going to give you the power, the precision, and more importantly, the portability. And again, Sheila, I suppose the thing is with this, I've seen so many times with you experts, with you experts over there, I've seen so many times, like flower forming, I always think of, you'll get the Mini out rather than using an electronic, or if you just want to use the Mini dies, you just get the Mini out because it's so much quicker, isn't it?
It's really quick, honestly. And you know, and I've said this before, I have quite a lot of small machines that I've, you know, got over time. And I bought 6 from a craft club. Now they were like a fatter, chunkier machine, and they had like 2 or 3 different plates, and it was like which plate goes through. But the Mini, and like you're saying, Ben, when it first came out, people were like, whoa, what's that? And I used to go into stores to demonstrate, and they would always put me in the die cutting area. And the Mini was always behind me. Was it purple when it first came out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember them being on the shelves, and they were, you know, whatever the price was. And I used to think, what is that? How can that be a good machine? Because until you pick it up and feel the weight of it, I mean, even though it's small, it is pretty substantial, isn't it, in weight? And the thing is with it as well, because of the shape of it, I feel this is quite important. The shape of it, it's slender, and then it goes wide at the bottom where the weight is. So when you put it on there, it's staying there, and you don't even have to hold it when it's just natural in your mind to hold it. But you don't need to hold it, you know. So that's an enormous boost, I think, as well for the machine, and for yourself. But also the ones I've got are quite rounded and fat. So, and what happens underneath, because they're a chunkier machine, they've got suckers on. But because the machine comes out like that, it tends to rock. Yeah. Because the weight is higher up. So I think with this, because it's a bit like a mountain, isn't it? You know, it goes like that. Nice and slender. I mean, it's tiny. Look at the size of it. I put it in my handbag sometimes. But yeah, it's not moving off there. So it's really easy, and all you need, I'm fighting with it there, trying to get it off the mat. I'm like, come on. You get your little mat, and again, it's just your folder. It's so easy, it's so quick. And because I think when we, Crafters Companion, are designing dies, this machine is always in mind because you can use all these. And I have done all that cutting this morning that I'd done on the previous card with the Great Outdoors. I did it this morning. Came in at 9 o'clock, and I just spent a whole hour just stood here with the teeniest dies. You saw those little walking boots, and just go through. And you don't have to go all the way. You can just go, if you put your thing up here, you can just go in like half an inch and then bring it back. Brilliant, really speedy, really quick, but solid. And look at that, stuck to that mat now. Jemmy's going to go mad now because I moved the mat. But you really do have to put some, I know, it's crazy.
That's bonkers.
Yeah,
I've never done that before.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry, I've never done that before. I just thought I'd try whilst Sheila was talking. We know it can pick up the glass mat, but the Mini can pick up the MIDI. Oh, I can't now because the MIDI's stuck to the... Did I do it on the box, did I?
I thought...
I don't remember.
You did that, yeah.
That shows you the power of the suction cups. I love my MIDI, says Pat. This is my go-to machine most of the time, and I like having a variety of sizes in the machine, says Jackie. But with the G2, you can do everything. The Mini is at my right hand when crafting, so if I need to cut something small, it is handy. 100 bonus points are on either of those that you go for today, but only for today. 100, 200, 300, grab them whilst you can. Take your pick is what I would say. Thank you for the questions coming in. Radical Rachel, how many questions do we have? Please can you let me know? We are going to be going over to our little sofa area in about 20 minutes or so to answer any questions that you might have sent in. Any G2, Junior, Mini, MIDI questions, fire them in. I know we've got Vicky's question on plate combinations, which we'll talk about and what plate does what. But in the meantime, we're going to have a look at the celebration dies. We had these on yesterday, so I'll quickly rattle through the dies for you. I didn't even mean to do that one. Just do it all the time. I just can't help but rhyme.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I'm very, very disappointed. We have one question.
Oh. Perhaps people can't think, but if people are using these machines all the time,
Yeah.
they are probably, well, you know yourselves, you are probably more experienced with the G2 than I am, because I've only been here for 7 months. I was only given it, like 6 months ago, so you might be able to give me some tips. You might be able to say in a question form like, Sheila, did you know that if you do this, this and this on the Gemini, then you can do that? So, and then I can say, wow, I didn't know you did that. So you could ask a question, tell me something in a question form, and I can answer that with whatever I thought. So it doesn't have to be something that's, direct. How do I do this?
Yeah.
You might be able to tell me something that I don't know about.
Just to say, it doesn't have to be on die cutting. It doesn't have to be on machines. Any crafty questions you like.
Yeah.
This is unprecedented territory because normally we have 10, 12, 14 questions. So to have one at this point is very disappointing. Come on, everybody. Get questions in, please. You're letting the Crafters Companion team down, all of you.
Oh, don't make people feel guilty.
No. I'm not cross. Right, I'm not cross.
You sound like
I'm just disappointed.
Disappointed. It's fine. We can just do. You know what? We can do some cutting. If we don't get questions, we can do a bit of cutting.
Sheila.
Wait. No, you don't let me finish though.
Oh.
No, you don't let me finish because if we do a bit of cutting, that might make people ask questions because they might go, oh, I wonder how that would work in that, or I wonder if I could do that with that. So it could just make a few people think about some questions that they've not thought of as yet. I know you just want to have a sit down. His face.
We've got two now.
You have to give them a chance. They've probably been debating while you've been talking about which machine they're having. They're probably thinking about that rather than a question going, right, is this a good day to get the machine? Yes, it is. Which one do I want? So you have to.
If you've got any questions about which machine you should go for, tell us your crafting habits and we'll diagnose. We will tell you. Well, I suppose you will. We'll diagnose.
What's wrong with you?
We'll diagnose your machine.
You've got dichotitis.
Dichotitis, yes. You've got flower forming foamitis. I think you probably need the Mini.
Yeah.
You've got I like to cut a lot of big dies at the same time itis. You probably need the G2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to store all of my sweets away whilst I'm crafting itis. G2 again, isn't it really? Yeah.
Are you spending more than 8 hours a day on your cutting machine? You've got Gemini-itis.
Yeah, you have. Yeah. Right, celebration dice. Should have finished talking about these 4 minutes ago. So, £76, 96.40. Showed you all of these yesterday. Here we go, very swiftly through. You get all your relations in here. These cut as separate letters. So obviously you've got great brother, dad, mum, auntie, nana, auntie, uncle, pops, mummy, sister, wife, grandma, partner, granddad, grandpa, nephew, niece, husband, son, cousin, girl, boy, friend, stepdaughter, in-law. But those don't cut as one solid die. So potentially you can make, I always pull this as an example because not everyone says nana. Okay, so if you wanted nanny, which is not there, then you could obviously go N-A-N and then cut the N and the Y from auntie to go from nana to nanny. Similarly, some people spell auntie I-E, but some people spell auntie with a Y, don't they? So if you wanted to do that, you could cut that. Oh, it is there, auntie. I take that back, there's two aunties in there. That's funny then, isn't it, how there's a nana, but no nanny. But there's an auntie Y and IE. Well, there you go. But anyway, as I said, they all cut out separately, so you can make whatever name you want, basically. And you get the alphabet as well in smaller letters, so you've got the ability to be able to pop any name that you want on there, plus any age as well. You can be hashtag very cool, because you've got hashtags and you've got ats. You've got all your little banners there as well, so you can pop the names and the numbers onto the banners. You've got balloons and stars and rainbows and cakes and smiley faces. You've got all of your celebrations with the bunting and yays and presents and bouquets and mortarboards and cakes and prosecco and balloons and all sorts. Then you're going to get this, which is the speech bubbles, and that's a lot of fun. As I say, I'd love to see, I might do it one time actually, like print off a picture, pop it into a project, and then do a little speech bubble coming out of the person's mouth. And, you know, you could maybe like recreate the conversation they were having at the time the photo was taken, you know. So that's quite fun. And then you've also got the big numbers with the exclamation mark, and you've got all of your ordinals there as well, the stirred. And then you've got celebrate today, happy party on your anniversary, birthday, years young, and your time too.
And your time too.
And your time too. So all of those are included in that bundle. £76, £94.40. And Alex says, Ben, I think things are explained so well, it's quite hard to think of something to ask unless you have already got a puzzle. Ah, that's fair enough. So what you're saying is we're doing a great job. Tell that to the bosses, please.
Yeah.
I'll never be without my MIDI. I love it, says Jay Pressy. And Jen says the G2 and the Blue Junior, Jen. The Blue are my go-to machines alongside the Mini, but the MIDI is wonderful for crafting at crops. Yeah, I hear you on that one. Where did the Blue Junior come from? That must have been, was that like an HSN one? I know there's lots of different colours of the Junior floating around. And we've got some more questions. Bonnie is watching as well, who sent in a few questions, which is marvellous. Anyone else, send them in, and we'll reconvene in about 10 minutes' time, see how many we have got. Right, Sheila.
Yes. Sorry. Sorry. Thought you were asking me something. Okay,
No, it was like a news, you know, like they do in the news,
it's
where they go,
Sheila,
diddle-da, diddle-da. Sheila.
News just coming in. We're
Yes.
going to do some die cutting.
Whoa, on a die cutting show.
So we're going to use the speech bubbles and the frames. Now, I know that Debbie did the card a few weeks ago with all the speech bubbles on. So I thought, let's cut some of the frames because these are just really nice frames on here. So I think we're going to cut probably all of the frames, which we can do on the Mini because it is small enough to accommodate our small dies. So let's grab all those frames. We'll cut all the frames out and then we'll do like a little bit of an overlap of them, and we'll do them in a mixture of, like, I found some copper card, like glitter card, and like metallic card, and then some pearlescent card. So we'll do a couple of cuts from each of the different ones, and then we'll see if we can just concoct kind of crazy little card where we overlap some of them as well. So let me just grab a little bit of tape there to just hold this in place. I don't think we need to really tape it when it goes through the Mini, but sometimes because the folder is a little bit warped, we'll just tape it just in case. Oh, there we go. Oh, sorry, that's my fault. That's my fault. I hadn't pressed it down on there. There we go. So let's have a look how nice this cuts. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. So as we cut them, we'll pop them onto the white pearlescent card there, and then you can see them. So I'll just pop that to one side for a sec, and then we can hopefully just pop those on there as we cut them. Now then, because I've just cut that one, I'm just wondering if I could get that. I thought, oh, can I get that one from out there? No, not quite. So we'll have to do that with another colour. So let's go with the like rust-coloured pearlescent.
The Blue Junior was from HSN, says Jen, her first machine. And Bonnie says, I'll come to the rescue with questions. I can always come up with tons. But Bookworm Bon to the rescue. Thank you, Bonnie. I mean, don't be asking us like really complicated questions.
Yeah, no maths
No
questions.
maths. Or physics for me, please. I don't like physics.
You don't mind physics? Okay, well, no physics for me.
No. Music. We'll take music questions.
Yeah, we'll take music
Film we'll take.
Yeah.
Sport I'll take. French. Wrestling, Jean just said.
Frame. Oh, look at these frames. These are nice. Actually, that's not a frame, is it? Or is it? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit crazy, that one. Now, do you know what I'm going to do with that? Because that's got a little bit of pattern on it. So I'm going to put that through again. I'm going to put it back through there with an extra bit of paper on top to see if it'll, let me grab a little scrap here to see if it will put the patterns on there. So if you've got a die and you want to, is that going to be big enough? No. Is this going to be big enough? No. If you've got a die that's got some detail on it, okay, and it needs to be like put on the frame, which we're going to do now, if you put a piece of card on top of it, like that, and then pop that down, pop that back through. I'm hoping it's not moved out of the die. If it has, we'll do it again. An extra piece of card acts as a little shim, which should then give you, should then give you the embossed effect on there. So what you're going to be able to see is all the little like spots, the little holes that came out of there. So we've now embossed those onto there. So that can go on there as well. Okay, so our next one, so we've got 3 there. So let's go with a different colour now and a different shape. So let's go with a glitter one. So we will just snip that bit out of there, so we don't have to put the whole thing through. Right, now it looks like this one might put some little design in as well. Oh, actually, no, it won't. It's going to cut, I think. That's going to cut some tiny little bits out. Okay, so let's see what this one does. This is the one I wanted to look at, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now then, I don't think it's quite cut properly, actually. Oh, yeah, it has. And do you know what? I'm thinking, why can't I see? I've got the wrong specs on. I was like, I can't see. No wonder I've got a headache all the time. It's because I've got, like, I'm using the wrong glasses for the wrong thing. Oh, this is nice. Look at this.
You need to get slightly different frames so you know which ones are which then, maybe.
Well, one of the similar shape and similar colour, but these are clear all the way, and the other ones are like I've got darker arms on there. So.
Alison just said, Ben, how are you with TV shows from the 70s? For questions. Prefer the 80s, but I think between us, me and Sheila probably could tackle TV shows from the 70s.
I think so, yeah. Definitely.
And Rhonda's just said, my Mini and MIDI still sit next to me at all times on my craft desk.
Oh.
My Pro, remember the Pro, sits at all times in my sewing space for quilting. My 2 OGs are in my craft room at arm's length when needed. It's nice to have an army of machines, isn't it, Sheila?
Yeah.
You know, get a bit of a system going and have them all working at the same time.
Yes, do you know what? I think in an ideal world and in an ideal craft room for me, it would be to have like a big like worktop area or a big like countertop where I could, and it would be like a die cutting area. So anything that needed die cutting, I could just walk straight over to it. At the minute, my room is so small and I've got so much stuff that if I want to put something on my desk, I have to move a load of stuff. So I'll get like a load of stuff, put it on top of the Gemini machine just to store it for a minute while I get my guillotine out so I can cut something. And then I'll put the guillotine back down like on the floor under the desk, and then I'll get all this stuff back off the Gemini because I need to use the Gemini then. So it's not ideal, you know. It's like, oh my goodness, please get me a big craft room, somebody. So yeah, so I think when we buy a house eventually, we'll I think it's going to be, you know, I'm going to just make sure. I've asked Wayne, I said, Wayne, I want you to like cut me some units, build me some units that will all fit everywhere and will house everything as well. Ooh, now that's cut a nice rectangle, but again, I've done it again, you see. I've forgotten to get that embossed line on it. However, I'm not sure it would show up quite so much in the glitter card, so I'm not too worried about that. So now we need to bring in we've not done that one yet, and we've not done these. Yeah, we've done that one, we've done that one, we've not done this one here. So let's grab that, and we'll do this one from here, and I think we'll do this one from here as well. So let me tape these down so they stay where we put them. And then what I can do as well with these is we'll put another piece on top. So I'll just grab like a little scrap piece. There's a scrap piece that might do it. To see if that will then put the designs on there, the embossed designs.
Oh, 7 questions now.
See?
Hey. Ye of little faith.
You were worrying, weren't you?
I do worry though, Sheila. I'm a worrier.
Oh, this is nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what it's like? It's like a fancy biscuit, isn't it? Like a shortbread biscuit.
Yeah.
Right up my street. And just look at this one as well. So this one is a bit like, it's uneven, but the bit it's cut out, look at the emboss on that around the edge. Isn't it quite nice? It's like very like vintage, like an old piece of vintage metal. That's really nice.
Close.
Oh, sorry. Do you want me to hold it up, or do you want me to just have it like that? So can you see on that edge how nice it is? Isn't it lovely?
Yeah.
And that's the bit that you wouldn't normally use. So all the bits that we've cut from the middles are really quite nice. So we've got quite a few there. We've got that one, that one, that one. So let's move that one out of there, out of the way, like that. And that's actually, it's actually done an imprint on there, because this is a piece of alcohol marker card, I think. What it's done, it's actually taken a little, like, embossed impression as well on there, which is, can you see it?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, it's amazing what you can do. So let's have a look at what we've got. So these are the bits that fell out, and then these are the bits. So these are the bits that we might not need, and then these are the bits that we have just cut. So again, with something like this, you could be creating like something that's a little bit wacky, for want of a better word, really. So let's put all these on. Yeah, we've got 7, I think. So let's maybe bring that one down. Let's put that one there, like that. Let's do this one here. So we're trying not to have too many of the same colour together. You can see now, when if you start to do something like that, how unusual that then becomes. If you stick those down, then you can put things inside those. Yeah. You could put words. You could put, let's have a look what we've got on the, this is the Celebration metal die set here.
I could do with these frames today, says Amanda. You can get these individually if you don't want the full collection.
Yes, the frames are really nice.
Yeah, they are.
They are really nice. And again, if you look at the ones that have, the bits that have come out of those as well. So we've got some really nice shapes there and really nice, you know, these are really good. So you could, in effect, do another kind of thing. You could, let's try that. If we leave that there so you can see it, let's try it if we did it with the inside bits. I'm not on a card here, but if we did this exactly the same, but with the inside bits, like that. So we would have, so we put them, so it's a mirror, it's kind of a mirror image of that, if you like, but it just, let's see.
Got 9 questions now.
See, there we go.
I knew you lot wouldn't disappoint me and let me down. I knew it.
So look at that. So that is like a mirror image of that one. So all we've done it with the frames, and these bits we're so used to cutting out frames that what we do, we get these middle bits and we just throw them away, and then you think after, well, they're all quite nice, aren't they? And then what you could do, what about then, am I all right for a minute to carry on?
Yeah. Okay, we've got a couple of minutes, haven't we?
Okay, let me just try something else with that. So I'm just thinking, get the embossing folder here, and put these 3 plain ones in there. Oh, I need to do it. Yeah, I need to. What am I doing? I can't even think what I'm doing. Right, there we go. It's that one we need. So let's pop that in there. If we do them all like that, and then we can pop that through. We'll pop it quickly through the Gemini, and that will give us a really unusual effect on there. And pop that through there quickly, and then we can look at it then just by adding those extra little bits. So I'll move that up just a fraction, see how that looks. So again, this is something. Oh, this is a great embossing folder. I wish I had this embossing folder. It looks so good. So then we can put those in place now, like that. So we're just doing a completely exactly the same as we've got at the top. the bottom here. We've not got it on a card, but I will put them on a card in the break. And then we can actually see what they're like, because I feel like that card it might be like a bit too big. But yeah, doesn't it work really well?
Yeah, it does.
And just by embossing them, and what you could do then is you could emboss this one here and maybe this one or this one that's not got a fancy pattern on them. Can you see how that is the mirror now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of that, it's like the insides and the outsides. But I think that works really well. And then you could just put some of the little, like some balloons in. You could put a little word, one of the tiny greetings. You could just put stars, balloons, or just have a word in one of them and then maybe just put a few gems in another. But I'll definitely put those together in the break, and then we can see what the difference is like after that.
Yeah, absolutely. I save most of the middle, says Jackie Kosh, to use as tags or layers.
Yeah.
And Hilary says, my G2 has its own little table. The MIDI and the Mini are in their bags. Love from Doodah.
Oh.
Doodah. Yes, Hilary. I mean, I think you probably shall forever be known as Doodah now. It's Doodah and Holly Collie. I said that. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have the same ring, but I said it with love last night. Oh, Doodah's been in touch, I said, if you didn't see the show. You know, Doodah and Holly Collie. You could use the staircase, Doodah again. You could use the staircase dies and put the frames like they're on the wall up the stairs like portraits.
Yes. Yes, you could see that, isn't it weird how everybody sees things? So as we lay it down like that, you've just seen that idea and thought, right, now I can do that with the staircase dies.
I also feel like you could create, you know, in Friends where they have the frame on the back of the door. If you have fans of Friends, you could like get one of our door dies and then put the frame on the back and create a little spy hole and create a Friends card.
You could, yeah.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah,
you could. And Alison says, I saw a clip today with Roy Castle presenting, and he had a panel who had to guess who this lad's father was. The dad was John Pertwee, and Lionel Blair was on the panel. It's bugging me, you've said. What show was that then? Ooh. Or is that what you're asking? What was the show? I only know Roy Castle from Record Breakers.
I remember him doing a show, actually. Oh, yeah, I do remember him doing a show. Now you just explain that. Well, we need to find out what that was.
Yeah, we'll have a think. Alex says, I've just ordered the die set and I'm keeping this show for the inspiration. Well, thank you, Alex. Hopefully you'll have a fab time with said set. We've got 9 questions, apparently. Feel free to get more in if you so wish. And whilst we get ready to move to the seated area, let's remind you about the Craft Pals. Last chance to get involved, enroll in this if you like, is this Sunday, 1st of March. That's when we stop taking the names for it, and I guess the process begins of getting you paired up. If you don't know about it yet, if you're still on the fence, let's give you some more information about this. Here it is, Craft Pals.
Introducing Craft Pals, our exciting new pen pal programme, created to connect crafters everywhere through the joy of making and sharing handmade cards. You love crafting thoughtful notelets or beautifully handmade cards? Craft Pals is all about creating something meaningful and sharing it with someone who appreciates it just as much as you do. Sign up to Craft Pals and you'll be matched with a fellow crafter to exchange handcrafted cards, creative inspiration and a heartfelt connection each month. If you love crafting with purpose, don't miss out. Sign up by March 1st to be matched with your very own Craft Pal.
Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, so best to do it now is what I would say. It's Wednesday, isn't it? So you've got 3 or 4 days left to get signed up. I believe on last count, something like about 400 people have signed up. I think probably even more by now. So you can be quite specific too, I believe, once you fill in that form. If, for example, if your worry is, oh, I'm from the UK and I might get someone from the US and the postage costs might be a lot, blah, blah, blah. You can obviously say, well, I'd like someone in the UK. You can be quite specific, I think. And if you've got any more questions or worries like that, there is a designated question section on the website. You know what you didn't do? It was my fault.
What?
The plates, but we can talk around it because the first question was from Vicky.
Okay.
Can you please go through what plates do what on the Gemini 2 and what the pink rubber sheet does? So can we step through the plates first of all, the white ones?
Yes, so you've got the 2 white ones and you use these most of the time, apart from there's an odd exception when you don't use those. So you'll use if we do first of all the embossing folders, I think, because there's only 2 combinations, and that then is we can get that done out of the way then with so you've just seen me emboss there with a 2D folder. So to emboss with a 2D folder, you need the 2 white plates. So white plate, your card inside your folder, and then the other white plate. If it's a 3D folder, you need to do the white plate, you need to do the magnetic, then you do your embossing folder, then the magnetic sheet and the clear plastic, you know, like the frosted one. So you're taking a little bit of the depth off. So you're replacing it, you know, to take it, it's less, should I say, than the white plate. That's what I'm trying to say. It's less in depth than the white plate. You just remove it in probably a millimetre or so. So that's for the embossing folder. So with the dies, you will use the white plate, then you put your card and your die, and then you'll do your frosted sheet and your white plate. That will cut like anything that's a solid shape. So say if it was a heart die or a circle or a square, something like that, that doesn't need masses of pressure. If you're using like something, say one of the flowers from like the Thorn and Bloom or Antique Lace, something like that, that's very detailed and intricate, or a frame die or something that's very detailed, a doily die, you would do the white plate, you would do your card, your die, you would do the frosted plate, then your magnetic sheet, and then your other white plate. That's what you do. So you've got the four plates there to cut through your die. If you want to cut through acetate, or you want to cut through like felt foam, leather, something like that, you will use your metal plate. When you use your metal plate, you do not need to use your magnetic one. Don't ever put the magnetic one in when you've got the metal one in. But when we do the show after and we're doing some cutting, we will explain it again then what we're doing. But then the other question was the rubber mat, wasn't it?
Yes.
So the rubber mat is actually there's a couple of reasons for using the rubber mat. One, we tend to use it for creating an embossed effect with a stencil or a mask. So if you're wanting to create like a lovely kind of detailed effect, but without an embossing folder, then that's what you would use. But you can also use the rubber sheet if you want to emboss a die.
Okay.
And we can show you that later on as well.
Yeah, we've got so many questions to get through now. Typically, we've got 7 minutes. So how do I know, says Bonnie, when to replace the plates? Mine are bowed, but not sure when to replace. I mean, you can use bowed plates, can't you? I suppose it's when they stop cutting, I suppose, isn't it? Yes, I mean, there comes a time when if you're finding them, if they're so bored, you find them difficult to get through the machine or to put in the machine. You find as you're putting it through, it starts to kind of push back out, or you're having to like really press it down, then I would say you would need to replace them. But only at that point, really. The magnetic shims sometimes get a bit tattered on the edges because they can move a bit, and you'll find they get a bit like raggedy on the edges sometimes. So that's when you would need a new one. But yeah, I think that's when. Anita says, I have a Mini and wonder when to use the plastic shim. So that is just with a 2D folder, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. With the Mini machine, yes. You just use that plastic shim then. I mean, we don't have masses of the slim embossing folders, do it to go through the Mini machine, but that's when you would use it just to give it a little bit of like extra oomph. Is it possible, says Bonnie, to half cut a die on purpose so it only cuts partially through? Now then. You can do, but you'd have to probably do a bit of experimenting because it depends what you want to cut it through and how. I mean, if you placed it like off the cardstock, you couldn't you? Like slightly off. Yeah. Are you meaning to only cut half of the die, or are you meaning to only cut through, not completely cut through the whole of the? I know. I think she means like to only. So like if you had a. Yeah, but you'd place it on the edge of your cardstock, wouldn't you? And have half on, half off. Yes. So you would overhang your plates. I'd have to show that to explain it properly, but you would let your die hang out, and only your plates would sandwich the half that you want to cut. Okay. See what I mean? But we'd have to show you that. But if we can remember, we'll do that after. Kelly O'Sullivan says, could you put a card die, so like a standard die, and a fabric die in at the same time, so on the same plate? So so could you cut with a normal die and a multimedia die at the same time?
Probably not, only because there's a difference in the depth of them, I think. The multimedia dies are slightly thicker and heavier, and you would probably, I'm guessing you would probably be cutting through maybe 2 different things with them. And the multimedia die tends to need the magnetic, not the magnetic, the metal plate.
Yeah.
Whereas just a regular die doesn't. So
We could try it in the advanced die cutting later on.
We can still try it.
Note it down.
Yeah. Yeah, we can still try it. We've got all the multimedia dies down there, so we can try it.
We're going to note that one down, Gary, yeah? Yeah? I think that'd be good one to do later on.
Yeah.
Mal says, hi Ben and Sheila. We saw Debbie make a reverse pheasant. Of course she did. Saw Debbie make a reverse pheasant by stamping on a silicone mat, then picking that up with your card. How can you die cut a reverse die and make it look as good? Is that possible with a die to...
It's weird actually, because you'll have seen me this morning, even though I didn't cut it, when I was putting those tents together. There's only one die for one side, and there's not one for the other side. So what you have to do is cut one like on the right side of the paper and then one on the wrong side, and you can always tell when you turn the die over to the way you want it to be that the wrong side is kind of sticking up that way, whereas when you've cut a die, the right side is like a bit beveled like that. So you can, sometimes, depending on what you've cut through, you can tease it with your fingers a little bit to try and smooth it round, or you can use a ball tool, but there's a skill involved in doing that, and you need like a foam or a rubber mat to use the ball tool on just to get the end a bit more rounded, so it can be tricky. Okay. But you can do it.
I've seen, says Vicky, people put the die in underside down, so the blade is facing the sky. Yeah. Why is that? I keep missing why it happens. I mean, it's just, we do it the other way, so it's easy to show, don't we?
Well, we do it. Yeah, we do it that way. To be honest, when I used to die cut, I used to do it that way. So I used to be, and because it was a different machine, it used to, and because of the plate combination, you had to do it that way because it had a big thick plate at the bottom, a big thick base. So you had to put your die on with the cutting side facing up, then put your card on, and then put your plate on, because the plate was thin and the base was thick. So that's why some people do that. It depends on what machine you're using, but with the Geminis we do it the other way around, and that's because of the way the plates are normally.
Carolyn says, after your cutting plates get all marred up, how do you keep the scratches from imprinting on some of the special cardstocks?
Well, I tend to have some copier paper handy, you know, like you would print on from your copier paper. So I normally do that if I'm cutting like metallic or mirror card and I don't want any scratches to be on it. I normally put like just a piece of paper in there as well, and that will kind of protect it a little bit.
Can you, says Stephanie, explain the difference and or uses of the easy mounting foam? She says thin and regular, which we've been showing. She says, I never knew that it came in different thicknesses. Sorry, it's taken me so long to ask. So what is that foam for, and what's the benefit of having the 2 different thicknesses of that?
Well, it can depend on your stamp.
Yeah.
Because like years ago, before we started doing acrylic stamps and polymer stamps, most stamps were rubber. Like either grey rubber or red rubber, and they're quite thick. Because obviously, you'll know with polymer, they're quite stretchy and they're quite kind of thin. Yeah. Whereas, and obviously they're transparent, whereas the rubber ones, more like and they're not like as thick as a car tyre, but they're rubber, so there's a lot less give in them, and they would very often come unmounted. So depending on how you were using them and what you wanted to use them for, and what kind of stamp it was, would depend on the thickness of the foam you put on. I have a lot of my old rubber stamps, red rubber and grey rubber, are all on the thicker easy mount. And to be honest, I would have to ask Leanne, I think, for more info on that, because I've never used the thinner one.
Right.
But I've got the thick one on all my old.
Actually, you think the thicker would be better, wouldn't it, really? But We can ask.
Yeah, well, let us check for you just to make sure. Because I've never used the thinner one, so I don't want to just make something up for the sake of telling you. I'd rather know, like the right thing to tell you.
And Ursa says, I mean, this is an absolute cracker of a question. Why should I buy your machine and not another brand's?
Well, because in our opinion, we think this one is the best one on the market. There's a lot more features on it.
Yeah.
You see us use it every day. I don't think there's a day goes by here is that machine is not
And
in
it's the
operation.
same machine. We don't like plug a different one in. It's always the same one.
No, it's just it just sits there. We come in and we wipe it over every so often, then we open it up, make sure it's plugged in, switch it on. So we can't say to you, you have to buy this. That's your choice. But we, in our opinion here, this is, I don't know any other machines at the moment that offer all these features.
Yeah. And it's the power, isn't it? I think more than anything, the power of the machine.
Yeah, the power and the speed that you'll feel with the plates. The plates are tough as old boots, and you can get everything through it. And the other thing as well, I think with this one, is because the plates are 9 by 12 inches. They are bigger than A4. I've got 3 or 4 machines at home that are big machines. But if you've got an A4 die, say like a cracker or a gift box or something, the danger when you put that in the machine is that if it shunts or moves a little bit, it goes off and it can get damaged and it get on the edges, and it can also not cut through your card because it's not quite marrying up. But with this, you've got that extra room at either side.
Do you know what I do? I know we're into overtime. We've got to go. Ursula, what I would do, because obviously we're going to sing the praises of our machine. We think it's the very best, and I think you could probably ask a lot of other people in the industry and they would agree. But we obviously can't tell you the pros and cons of other people's machines because that's not our business. What I would do, have a chat with other people in the community, other viewers who've got the Geminis and whatnot, who might have other machines, and speak to them about why they think the Gemini 2 is the best. That's what I would do. And see what they think the pros and cons are, because as I say, we're obviously going to say ours is the best, and it's not really up to us to sort of say, oh well, I wouldn't choose that machine or don't use that machine. So yeah, ask other people, ask our hundreds of viewers who bought it, and see what they tell you is what I would say. A massive thank you to Sheila, thank you to you guys. Look at that, there's me going, oh, there's not enough questions. And now we finished the show 2.5 minutes late. I'll shut up next time. That does mean we will be back at 3 minutes past 4. No, it doesn't. We'll be back in 57 minutes for more die cutting. And if you've got any more questions and anything else you want us to try out in that show, then feel free to let us know, and we will see you then. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.